just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king, king. Happy, many down, many jack king from right, just new king, big, great can new, happy. The owls are not what they seem, the owls. People very just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king, king. Happy, many down, many jack king from right, just new king, big, great can new, happy. The owls are not what they seem. The owls are not what they seem. The owls, people very just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king, king. King, happy, many down, many jack king from right, just new king, big, great can new, happy. The owls are not what they seem, the owls.
This is a place, and when we see each other, we can start playing together and working together. Those things you call commercials, I don't make those. People who want to play make them, and I don't know what my control is for it, especially that big moment.
Gentlemen, this is the elimination course. My calling is to keep men out of the ministry. I consider my test a success when the blood is 4 feet deep and the bodies are floating around the room.
That's amazing.
Now, we're trying to gain people's attention. Before the people were able to commit to a fallout, and again, I can't help but watch this and think, things are riding us. Things are riding us. And it's increasingly obvious.
Modernity sort of lured us into imagining we were in charge. That we were somehow in control, but we're not in control.
We've got a tiny group of people that are just sort of hyper about the blues, and they're learning together, and all of this new stuff sort of bursts forth. And in Laurel Canyon, you have this tiny little group of people that are sort of working on this, and then, you know, in some ways, via technology, this stuff just spreads all out throughout the world.
It of course made me think about this little corner, because what doesn't? And it made me think about the little group of people that are just playing with things now.
And I thought Jordan Hall said it very well in the conversation, you know.
What's up, everybody?
Remember, the last 5th of November, you watched that Grim Chris stream. Oh, yeah. Well, like, you're watching it now with that shared media consumption. And from today forward, when you remember the last November 5th, what happened, you can remember being here, being virtually not alone, as invoked by channel member Ups with his magic bubble. New channel member Green Man, you're right, doing his first Howdy Rascal Howdy. Howdy Rascal Howdy. And we got one from Joe Cross there, and we got one from Afriel way up at the top. And what else do we have? We have a Brandy saying hi, and we have a Paul calling in for a Denny drop. What? One of those there. There's Yoav. Good to see you, Yoav. Very nice. Oh, we got one of those. That's always fun. I'm Grim Gris. This is a live stream. It's called Pyramids, Groypers, and the Woke Reich. Hello. I see the assassins have failed. There's Dustin Tunji. Good to see you, fellas. Good to see you. Thanks, everybody, for being in the Shadow Cabal. Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all. We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see doing what is right for me. Is lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency. That we actually performed that piece at the Southestuary campfire, which is not this video.
Although this world will devastate you, and rejoice although this world will penetrate you, and rejoice although you will not survive. Rejoice you'll never make it out alive.
Excellent rehearsal, gentlemen.
And rejoice your hair, it smells like burning hair. Oh, rejoice, your nails all got chewed off. Oh, rejoice, and holy fuck, you're bleeding there. Oh, rejoice, you burn your whole beard off. Rejoice despite the fact this world will hurt you. And rejoice despite the fact this world will kill you. And rejoice despite the fact this world will tear you to shreds. Rejoice because you're trying your best.
Hey, I love that one, dude. That's gorgeous. Thank you, brother. Wait, who's that brother?
Andrew Jackson Jihad is who is by. Avriel says, hey, Grim Grizz, we all could use some saving throws. Give those colored dice a roll. All right, then. Saving throws here are against mind control, which you're swimming in because words are magic. But if that's a little bit much for you to believe, you can just know that commercials are always trying to persuade you. And that mind control is what we're rolling. That persuasion mind control is what we're giving you saving throws against. But in order to get one, you have to make a choice. You have to choose what it is, what of your aspects you'll get your savings throw from, what part you'll use to resist the mind control. Will it be your will to survive, your social network, your accumulated wisdom, or the power of your heart? That's right. Survival, social wisdom, or heart. Choose. All right, survivalist, you've made it. Half damage, 15 on the die. Socialist, pair of 7s, 14. Half damage for you. Wisdom, folks, pair of 8s, 16. Hard folks, on the other hand, you're taking full damage with only a 4, 1 for each chamber. And Indigo kids coming in with the power of 8. Are there 8 of you out there? Are you 8? I saw F did the bubble. Okay. And then the show.
So say we all. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Ho, ho, ho.
Okay, well, we got this here. We got to get yourself some General Grind coffee at the link provided in the chat and in the description. It's got washed Googies or honeyed Colombian. It's pretty damn tasty, I must say so myself. Okay, and then oh yeah, what happened was there was one of these Elon Musk things on the Joe Rogan. I'm gonna play a piece of that for you. But before we get there, I'm going to justify that, when this happens, when this event happens, when somebody with billions and then lots of control over the universe makes 3-hour conversations, maybe it's worth listening to. Maybe their baby mama admits something here in this.
I've heard other people propose monarchy long before I heard Curtis propose it, so it just doesn't seem that insane to me. I don't really I don't agree with Curtis on that, but that doesn't particularly bother me. I also know people who full on think we should have communism. That doesn't particularly bother me. I also don't think you can have communism without a police state. Don't think you can really have monarchy without a police state. Are we kind of in a police state?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm from. I am pretty intrigued when someone has a really different opinion from me. If someone gave me the opportunity to go meet the supervillain, and maybe I would go meet the supervillain,
And as such, let's see how that person views the world there.
Far left that they need, they can't even see the center with a telescope.
And the danger without you purchasing Twitter was that was going to swipe over the whole country and change where the levels were.
Yeah.
And so what would be rational and normal would be far left of what was rational and normal just a decade earlier.
Yeah. So exactly. So historically, you'd have San Francisco, Berkeley being very far left, but the sort of the fallout from the somewhat nihilistic philosophy of San Francisco, Berkeley would be limited in geography to maybe 10-mile radius, 20-mile radius, something like that. But San Francisco and Berkeley have to be co-located with Silicon Valley, with engineers who created information superweapons, and those information superweapons were then hijacked by the far-left activists to pump far-left propaganda to everywhere on Earth. You remember that old RCA.
So of note, that trinity of terror thing he mentioned, but more importantly, that he considers the social media platforms information super weapons. And since you partake of those, you probably downplayed that it's a weapon doing damage to you. But
Slime! What? It's a river of slime!
Hum 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 hum
The only thing we've found that makes the emptiness bearable is each other.
that masterpiece is over on the Neil Daedalus channel after the rebel forces have destroyed the Death Star that was the Friday Morning Nameless, where all of the previous weekly world newses were. You can find the new one over on Neil's channel.
Imagine a world where boundaries blur between reality and fiction, with Mikhail Gorbachev leading the charge. Gorbachev didn't just challenge political norms, he dared to break the fourth wall in storytelling. "Tear down that fourth wall," he exclaimed, inviting us into a new era of engagement. His metaphorical call wasn't for Berlin alone. It was a clarion call to storytellers and audiences alike. Engage directly, break barriers, and foster a dialogue. Gorbachev's words echo in the halls of creativity. As storytellers, it's our turn to tear down that fourth wall, inspired by Gorbachev's daring challenge. Join us in this creative revolution. Tear down the walls that confine your stories. Share, like, and subscribe for more inspiration.
No, I have some other timestamp things here from this Joe Rogan talk. Since I'll be working toward delivering on the Pyramids, Groypers, and Woke Reich title, I'm going to go with this one I have at 4 minutes. 4 minutes, but the other notes I'm not going over are at 1 minute, there's a Bezos glaze, and then at 13 minutes to 15 minutes, he talks about how asteroids do all sorts of damage, and then how his fancy big heavy rocket is the heaviest thing, and it starts off at 17,000 miles an hour or something. But here's the 4 minute part, which I have marked as Altman, Tucker, and Epstein, and this Groyper situation involves Tucker, I suppose.
Human. There it is.
Yeah,
that's him right there.
Like there's one of him with next to standing next to Arnold and stuff.
Yeah,
and it's where Arnold, everyone just looks tiny. I mean, I think he's a pretty cool dude, actually.
Oh, Brian's very cool, very smart too.
Yeah.
Unusually, you expect anybody to be that big, it's got to be a moron.
Yeah,
but no,
yeah. There's
no. I'm not. I'm just saying. I think someone killed him.
Yeah, and should be investigated.
Yeah,
not just drop the case.
Oh yeah, that was the Tucker part was that it was the Altman interview on Tucker, so he's not really related at all to this. All right. So we're getting to the delivery on the title right after. Okay. Thank you, Nidolat, for joining the Shadow Cabal of production executives without a monthly commitment through the Ko-fi link. We like that. Those come in. We like eating. As it turns out, food is nice. We appreciate that. Okay, and now I've been falling out, which is meant to coincide with the reduction in or a change in method of nicotine consumption, as well as other things. It's like there's a lot of fault lines of continents in my brain, and they're all criming together, and something's about to snap. It's very exciting for me, but in my time doing so, I've what do you call it? Done the research. I did the deep dive binge required to find this most powerful magic missile I now present to you, and it begins our descent into Pyramids, Groypers, and the Woke Right.
The list? Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room? I want to cast magic missile.
The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting magic missile. Why are you casting magic missile? There's nothing to attack here. I I'm attacking the darkness.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Oh, this is it though.
Broken family.
Broken family. Shut up! Broken family. Shut up!
Now you see that is a clip from this fabulous documentary on the damage set did to America. They call F is for Family, season 3. Season 3, when it shows what we've lost since the 70s. It's the notion of a
broken family.
Broken family. Shut up! Broken family. Shut up!
and now that has been successfully normalized to where you can't even make fun of anybody anymore because you're outnumbered. You're outnumbered if you make fun of people from a broken family, and that's something you should know. That after they nuked the extended family, they've normalized the broken family because cults like people who are isolated. Okay, and how then does that get to our current situation? Well, you see, watching Family Guy, it features a cartoon family in the cul-de-sac, and thinking of like to remedy the issue we have with the destruction of family proximity. That it would be kind of cool if like everybody in the cul-de-sac was your family, and if we could have family cul-de-sacs. And then I think to myself, but wait, BlackRock is buying up all of the family homes. So how would that even be possible? Well, we should have some good guys buying up the homes that they haven't bought yet, right? How would that happen? And that leads us toward pyramids, Groypers, and the woke Reich. You see, because the way that it could be that families ended up owning cul-de-sacs would be through something such as what you have written on this card here as the Christian Exodus. What?
Frog can't stay in the water forever. And that's the most important thing. At some point, you have to finish the story. To finish the story, the frog has to get the golden ball. And one could say that the golden ball is actually the sun, which will come up for the new day. The frog has to get the golden ball and bring it back to the surface of the water. It must carry the most important thing, carry the seed of the new world to the princess so that it can grow. If that doesn't happen, there is no telling what else can come out of the water. If the frog stays there for too long, it will be eaten, or it will call some darker monster, because there are other things down there beside the golden ball, and the frog can tempt the Leviathan to devour it.
All right. Well, to get to Christian Exodus, I have to show you the Russian general. The Russian general Konstantin Petrov, as it were. Here's a clip of that.
Штаты, в них живет 5% населения планеты. И эти 5% потребляют почти 50% энергоресурсов, добываемых всем человечеством. А теперь представьте, мы вот та самая мафия.
If you don't speak Russian, he said that Americans are 5% of the population, and that we consume 50% of the world's energy resources, and that the global mafia sees this as a problem. And now, what's a global mafia? And he suggests that that's what was created when they took a people away from the pyramids. Ding, and marched them in the desert until all of their old ways died off, and then took the young guys and taught them this new system called out-group usury. And there's this line somewhere in Exodus 22 that says, like, if your brother borrows money, don't charge him any interest. And so if you're part of that group, you apply that. But if you're not part of that group, you can charge them 26%. And over 2,000 years, this results in a global mafia. Now, some people might call that the synagogue of Satan, but that's not they say they're Jews, but they're not the synagogue of Satan part, just in case you didn't know. But now, so an Exodus Christian would be a member of a Christianity that also does the non-out-group lending, the in-group zero rent interest, right? And those Christians would have enough funds after, instead of all of those Christians paying interest to other people, they work together, and then they buy cul-de-sacs. And those are Exodus Christians because they do zero interest loans to each other. That's what makes an Exodus Christian.
Immediately, I remembered, because I'm a devotee, a follower of Socrates, I remembered Socrates' daemonium, his divine sign that spoke to him. And all of this was starting to say, something else is going on here that doesn't fall cleanly into the two automatic categories of madness or demonic encounter, where people have, there's a whole continuum of where people have full-blown encounters like this to very, very things where they just have a felt presence of something behind their left shoulder and getting into what I think is going on behind that. And so
Happy the hours are not what they seem, the hours.
So as far as just in my own mind, I'll get out and wave at the cars as they go by, and probably won't be robots in the car, but even if it was, say that it even was a robot and he waved back, and it's like, well, he made a robot happy. That's something. I don't know what it is, but it's something. So go do some of that. I'm going to see if I can do some of that. We'll see you later.
All right. For me to explain pyramids, the Groypers, and the woke right, we're going to have to engage in something that hasn't been engaged in some time, and that is the window sharing of a window. That normally doesn't happen. How is this working? Is it working? Are we doing it right? Let's see. That's over there. You're a whore now. Okay, yeah, always have been. File new. Can we make it bigger? Can we zoom in a little bit? All right, here we go. I'm now going to explain to you pyramids, Groypers, and the woke Reich. Now, the first part is the woke Reich, and that's very confusing because the woke Reich are the people that call the other side the woke Reich. Because they think, oh, look, they're the Nazi party. They hate the Jews, so we'll call them the Nazi woke Reich. Aren't we crude? But the people that are saying this about the other side, and they're all, that's the iron law of woke projection. They're also the ones that say you can't let these people talk because they're Nazis, which is definitely woke. So the woke Reich are the people that call the others the woke Reich. And you can recognize them as the Z word, if you'd like. But they aren't allowed to say the Z word. And I'm not, because this is YouTube. But that's who the woke Reich is, all right? And now there's a lot of my friends are that. It's interesting. But that layer is a layer of the pyramid. Are we using a brush? Let's be like the calligraphy brush. All right, here we go. There's a pyramid, and this is a layer. The woke Reich would be this layer here. This layer here is the woke Reich. All right, that's how that's going to work. And then this next level is the noticers. The noticers who exist here. This is the noticing Groyper. They're like, hey, we notice stuff. But here, people like me are at the top of the pyramid. It's probably not the top. But this is here. We have to use text. This is the one that sees the global mafia as what we call middle management. Middle management. You see, the thing about it is, right? The pharaohs, they had been ruling for like thousands and tens of thousands of years, and what they figured out and encoded in the Isis myth and others is the notion that rebellions are gonna happen. They figured it out. You know, after 50,000 years of rule, they're like, you know, every so often we have a rebellion. Whatever are we going to do? Whatever are we going to do? And they invented what we call middle management. You see, so I'm the top of corporate, and I tell this guy, okay, go do all these pain in the ass things to all of those people. And eventually all of those people are going to get pissed off. But if I hide in the shadows and have a red shield there, then all the people that when they get mad enough to kill stuff, they'll just kill my shield. And then I'll slowly reassert control of the new powers that fill the floor, you know? So that's higher up on the pyramid. And anybody you see arguing about from the blue side or the orange side there, they're just attention funneling the attention exactly where it's supposed to go. They're part of the system they're being oppressed by, because they're taking out their hostilities on the middle management. And that's the secret behind pyramids, Groypers, and the woke Reich. I hope you've enjoyed this live stream. I hope more importantly that you've shared this media consumption and feel what I don't even know who Tom Luongo is, Mark. I'm glad you were all virtually not alone with us. And this guy is fantasizing about putting me in a suit, so we're getting out of here. Address this. I have to address this. App says, so you tried to get no, middle management is not your problem. You go around them or that's no. You leave them alone. They zero attention.